by brain gym. So can we all please use the chat box and tell me what do we mean by brain gym? Gym we all know, we all have been doing gym and we all have missed gym as well during the COVID period. So what is brain gym? Can you write please to the chat box? What do we mean by brain gym? Does our brain also needs a gym? And how can we give it? What can be done? Gym is basically for the body. Yes, exercise, ma'am. Exercises gains. Exercises for left and right side of the brain. Very right. That's great. So to function in coherence, right, Vandana ma'am? So to make our body function in coherence, to help left and right side exercises are there, mental exercises to keep brain active, exercises of brain, rigorous exercises via interactive games to remain active in thinking, right, Neeru ma'am? Very right. Keeping students active through activities, right? So we all are very right. And yes, brain gym is all that we are talking about. Yes, ma'am, to remain active. Yes, ma'am. So to remain active and to keep our mind active, yes, to keep our brain relaxed, to make our mind alert, right. So thank you everyone for your wonderful responses. And yes, to make our mind and body alert, relax, keep working, and just to energize ourselves. Yes, keep Alzheimer diseases away, right, man, right, you man. That's the future, right? To remain alert. Exactly. So brain gym is all the exercises of the brain which involve the use of our brain. And today we will be specifically dealing with those exercises because brain exercises can be through language skills. It like through language games, they can be language games, they can be math problem solving games. There can be n number of games for that. So today we'll be talking about some physical activity. Specifically, we'll be talking about some physical motor activities through which we can help stimulate the brain of our children. So let us wait. I hope everyone can see my screen. So today we'll be talking about what are brain gym exercises, as we have all rightly said that it is to strengthen the muscles. So brain exercises stimulate brain activity and it helps in memory, concentration, coordination, academics, organizational skills. So it helps in keeping like coordination of eye, ear, head, limbs, overall body coordination, and benefits also. We all can say, ma'am has also told a future benefit. It helps in preventing the Alzheimer's as well. So it helps our child getting sharper and smarter, boosts our child's self-esteem, confidence. It will improve health, boost the immunity. There can be a number of benefits also. Improves the eyesight, the eye-hand coordination, improves the creativity, improves multitasking and planning, increases the growth of blood cells, boosts decision-making skills. So it increases the production of neurochemicals also that promote brain cell repair. So our brain cells continuously repair and remake themselves. So these exercises help in healthy rebuilding, improves the memory, lengthens attention span, boosts decision-making skills, prompts growth of new nerve cells and blood vessels, improves multitasking and planning. So now, what are the importance of brain gym movements? Like it helps in connecting both brain hemispheres, the right and the left. So it also helps in balancing the effects of daily stress and tension and helping one in reaching the optimal stage. So in balancing ourselves, keeping ourselves, our mind, body in balance so that we can think, learn, and concentrate anytime. So Dr. Hannah Ford, so she's a neurophysiologist and an educator, and she talks about that how the left and right brain movement coordination helps in maintaining a balance in our mind and body. So many teachers have found that starting the day with brain gym movements helps children to calm down, focus, and perform better. So a good time to do brain gym is right before the learning activities. We can start it in the early morning also while we are starting with our day, or in between the activities also. We can take them as a transition activity. So we all must be knowing that left and right brain, our brain is like a walnut shell and it is divided into two parts, left brain and right brain. Our left brain does all the analytical part, the language, science, logic, and math. And our right brain is related to our emotions, creativity, intuition, music, aesthetics, art. So we'll be doing some simple exercises, and I'll be talking about a few exercises and a few we'll be doing together. So these are some of the exercises they're just a beginning, that while we can begin the day in the morning with arm activation, the right arm can raise up and then we can hold it supported with the left arm. Similarly, left arm raise, you can support it with the right arm. This exercise can be done. And the thinking cap. So we all are teachers and we must be telling our students, open your ears. Our ears also have this neural connection with our brain. So this is a thinking cap. When we hold and, we must be knowing that when we were small, so some of our teachers used to pull our ears. So it is actually related to our brain cells. So our brain cells get stimulated when we move it. So rather than pulling our children's ears, we can just tell them to pull and roll their ears and open them so that their brain also starts working efficiently. The double doodle. So we can try this with our students. We can ask them to take a chalk in both their hands and they can write. Use both the hands to scribble, just to scribble. Because we all know that those who are writing with right hand, the left brain is activated, and those who are using the left hand, the right brain is activated. So in order to activate both the parts of our brain, we can use both our hands. And earth buttons, just to relax. These are the buttons like below our lips and below our navel. Just to relax the students, we can ask them just to rub slightly. Don't press too hard. And they can alternate. With the right hand first, they can with the right hand they can put it under the lips and left hand on the belly, and then they can do it alternatively. Left hand under their lips and right hand on the belly. So this is also fun exercise. I'm doing with my kids, that they can just twist their hands, keep their right hand up, hold it with the left hand, just twist their legs also, try to maintain their balance, and then they can do it. First, they can do it in front of their belly, and then they can do it in front of their chest. This 5 minutes switch on, we can do it. They can drink some water, rub below collarbone and hold navel. This is also a button to relax below collarbone and near the navel. Then they can stretch up one hand and then they can rub below bottom lip and hold the navel for 15 seconds. And then they can change their hands. Stretch up the other side, rub below nose and hold their tailbone. And then they can change hands. Stretch up both the hands up. And then they can do crawling, skipping, crawling. And they can cross the ankles and cross wrists with interlinked fingers. So this crossing will be the similar one, this one. So it's just a way to relax. And one of the important ways to relax the children is pace. Positive, active, clear, and energetic. So how can we bring this pace in our teaching and learning style? Positive attitude. So positive attitude can be done through these hookups. They can hook up their hands and arms together. First, they can do, I can just, so these hookups can be done. They can hook up their fingers like this and in this way. So they're all the fingers, all the tips of the fingers are joined together. So this way, this hookup can be done. First, they can do it here in front of the belly, and then they can do it in front of the chest. And similarly, they can crisscross their feet as well, their legs as well. Another brain hookup can be, we can ask them to sit on the floor. They can crisscross their ankles and hug themselves for 30 seconds. And then they can switch their legs. First, they can put the right leg up and then the left leg up. Similarly, hands also, first the right arm up, then the left arm up. And this way they can connect and balance their brain by hugging them. So more brain hookups. They can all touch all their fingertips together and make a ball for 30 seconds, and then they can just try and keep it, maintain it for 30 seconds. So this is also cross crawl to keep them active. This also I did with my children and they really enjoyed a lot, and it also helps in enhancing the cross lateral movements, because here they have to touch their right elbow with the left knee and the left elbow to the right knee. So it builds a connection between the two sides of the brain, and it is difficult for the kids sometimes because they seem to touch right elbow with right knee and left with the left one. So this is very important, and it is very like fun also for the kids to do it, and it helps in enhancing the brain and body. Clear. For clear thinking, just they can relax. So some of the brain buttons are there. So one brain button is here near our chest and the other is near our tummy. So they can just relax and massage the spot. Breathe in and out for 30 seconds, and then they can switch their hands and relax. So another brain button is here near our collarbone. You can rub them. We can ask them to rub them for 30 seconds to get blood to their brain. These are some of the brain buttons. So which can be used. They can just put their hands here near the collarbone and just massage for a while and relax. They can close their eyes and relax for a while. Next, we can just, so one more is they can rub small circles above both their eyes with their fingertips for 30 seconds and repeat. We can all do it also because it's important for us as well. So, and they can just say some affirmations. My brain is awake. My mind is active. So, energetic. So to make one energetic, we all know that sipping and drinking water is very important, as it also helps in enhancing the physical and cognitive activity. So water is very important to help the body function properly. So when energized with water, we can think faster, maintain better focus, and be more creative. So now we remember what is space. First, we have to be positive. We can crisscross. We can just touch the fingertips with one another. Active, we can do crisscross, touch the right elbow with the left knee, left elbow with the right knee. For clear thinking, we can use some brain buttons. And to be energetic, we can sip water. So we can move to some interesting brain gym exercises now. So these can be done one after the other. So these exercises are fun and they can be done with the children. So this is fun. You can see the first two images above. So this they can do. They have to do it really faster. Like they have to do it very fast. This and this. So they have to do it very fast, and they have to do it this quick, very quick in doing these activities. So they really enjoy doing these activities, and they also help in enhancing their brain. So these simple hand movements can be done. Mirror me. So children can stand in pairs and they can face one another and one can copy the other. So this is also very exciting and interesting. They're copying each other. They're understanding what the other person can do. So this helps in enhancing the empathy, also understanding the limitations of theirs and others' body. Controlled breathing. So breathe in through nose while counting to 3. You can hold for 1 or 2 seconds and breathe out through the nose or mouth for 3 seconds and then hold. We can try this breath hold only when the children are very much efficient in breathing in and breathing out effectively. So if we are dealing with initially with the children, we can just try with breathing in for 5 seconds, breathing out for 5 seconds. And when we feel that yes, the children are comfortable in just holding their breath, then we can take like breathe in for 1 or 2 seconds, hold for 1 or 2 seconds only, breathe out and then hold according to children's capacity. Hold, just make them hold as they can. It's no pressure because if the children are very young and they have not practiced it much, so it can affect them. So finger circles. So with their forefinger and thumb of each hand pinched together, they can extend their hands out in front of their face and trace large circles in one direction only. So keep their lips and teeth together. So now they have to trace them in the other direction. Clockwise, and now they can try. One hand will be drawing the circles clockwise and the other hand will be drawing anti-clockwise at the same time. So if we can also try, this will be very difficult for us also. As teachers also, we many times, yes, it's very difficult if we are drawing the circles clockwise, anti-clockwise at the same time. It's not easy for us. So yes, we can ask them to try. Then invisible word, they can use their fingers to write their name in the air and then they can write it backwards. Then turn to the partner and write a word forward. See if they can guess it. So we can write it in the air. We can ask them to write any alphabet, letter, or a word in the air. And then see if they can guess it. If they're really good, we can try writing the word backwards also. Ear massage. So hold your ears and slowly roll your earlobes between fingers and thumb. Just have to roll them slowly. Do it nice and slowly on all the way around your ear. Try unrolling the edges of the ears too. Our edges are rolled. We can try unrolling them and relaxing, massaging our ear. Shoulder shrugs. So to practice shoulder shrugs, roll your shoulders forward and then backwards. So do it slowly, smoothly, and take big breaths and relax your body in this way. So some of the other activities can be spin around 3 times to the right. Now spin around 3 times to the left and be careful not to get dizzy. Push the walls, so they can just try and push the walls as much as they can. So this also helps in many of the physical and brain parts also. Make a pattern. Make a pattern with your body by patting your head, patting knees, or touching toes. So they can make some sound patterns. They can create like music with their own body. Elbow to knee, we have already done. Touch your right elbow to your left knee 10 times and do the same with your left elbow and right knee. Stretch arms. Cross your arms with your chest. Now stretch them out. Push-ups also can be done. So loving lunges, how many can we do? They can just do these lunges. Animal acting, pick up any of your favorite animal and you can move around and just take out sounds like that animal. Move and freeze. So put on some fast music and move. Freeze when the music stops. Just one side. So can you only move one side of your body? Now try the other side. Some movements to just one side and the other movements with the other side. Keeping one side extremely still. Now some other brain gym exercises, we can ask them to do these exercises really quick and fast. They really enjoy, and it also helps in developing their brain also, and it helps in developing their interest also. We can do it together quick. We can ask them to be really quick with this. So these can be done. So now these exercises, some of them can be done with their partner also. So we can see here two hands, one hand can be ours and one can be our partners. And we can ask them just to change their hands. Here in this picture, one hand belongs to me, suppose you can say, and other hand belongs to my friend or my partner. So we can do it together. First, they can show the back side of the fist, then the front side of the fist. We can match up pace with each other and do it quickly. We can do it on the sound of music. We can do it on the sound of counts or claps. Some of these movements also can be easily done with the children, with their partners. So we can try these different movements. Take out one finger, two finger, 4 and 3. They can just take out this, because for younger children, it's very difficult to open up fingers in this way also. So it helps in developing gross and fine motor skills as well. So they can just try and open their fingers in different ways. And this can be done with them alone. They can just put the right hand up their head, left on the belly. They can change it. This one is also very interesting. We can all try and do it together like this. With one hand hold your nose and the other hand hold your ear, and then do it vice versa. Quickly they can do it. These are some of the simple ones. They can put the right hand up, left hand on their belly, just on the belly buttons to relax also. This is also very interesting. I also did this also with my kids. And many of them really do it very well. Because some children, we feel they're not attentive, they're not paying attention. But if we do such exercises, we just realize that, oh, they are attentive. We just not catching the like, because there are some learners, some are bodily kinesthetic, some are musical, some learn in different ways. So there are some children who will pick these things very fast. And we may have not thought about it also, that they can do it really well. So this also I found really interesting. You can hold your right arm with your left hand and then you just put inside this one. You can do it vice versa. This one like this, and then you can do it this way. So like this, we can do this. So this one is also very interesting. Put 3 fingers, then this symbol. This one is also very interesting, and children enjoyed this doing this, just making flipping their hands. These are some of the movements which will include leg movements also. It involves balancing. So this is the same one, touching their right knee with the left elbow and the left knee with the right elbow. So they can also hold their fingertips from the back. You can try doing this. They can try and maintain their balance on one foot. First, they can stand on a stone or a piece of paper also, maintain balance. Then they can touch their nose. We can try with take it easy. First, they can hold the wall, take support, and slowly and gradually we can remove the support. This also can be done. Trying to stand on one foot. So we can stop, and if there are some queries, then we can move forward. Yes, ma'am, we can do these for 2 to 3 minutes in the beginning of each class, right, to set the tempo for the class. Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have any queries, till now, you can write them, and then we can move forward. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the feedback. Okay, okay, ma'am. So we can move forward and we can take the queries later. So some of the seated exercises can also be done. Elbow to knee seated march. So they can march up with their knee, bring the opposite elbow down towards the knee, that is marching, alternate. So while sitting, we can do touching the right elbow to the left knee and left elbow to the right knee. So seated march and side arm raise, they can march up with their knee, at the same time lift their opposite arm to the side. So when their left foot is up, they can just raise their right arm. Similarly, they can repeat it on the opposite side also. So seated kick and forward arm raise. So kick one leg out in front of you and at the same time raise your opposite arm in the air. So these are all cross-lateral movements to help develop both the sides of the brain. Seated kick and side arm raise. So it will be the similar way we can raise, we have to raise one leg and the opposite arm to the side. Side step arm lift. So lift one arm out to the side and at the same time step out the other side, other leg. As you can see in the picture also. Standing scissors. So they can start by moving one arm forward with the opposite leg backwards. So half kneel, opposite arm lift. So they can just kneel down and the leg, one leg that is down, touching the ground, that arm will be up. So half kneel, lift your arm opposite to the knee, that is up, switch sides and repeat. So seated leg extension, forward arm reach. So now they have to try to touch their foot. So they can do it while standing. They can take the support of the wall also if their shoes are not on. So they can sit with their shoes off, and then they can just kick out one. If they're kicking out right leg in front of them, they have to use their left arm to touch the right foot, and vice versa. So foot tap. So tap the foot on the target. So give each foot a turn. So we can just place some targets on the ground. We can place some papers or some newspapers. We can ask them to just tap their foot on the target and place the foot down between each target, or try to tap without placing the foot down. So they can just put their left leg up and tap all the places, and then only put it down. And then they can put their right leg up, tap all the places, and then put it down. Or they can just put it down in between also. Elevator ride, so place a bean bag or sock in front on top of your foot. So give it a ride into the basket. So we can lift the things. We can lift the things with the foot from both the sides. Single leg standing. So make sure to try both the sides. So try to stay as still as possible. Children, just enjoy this. I hope all of you must have done. So this is really enjoying for the kids. Just balance on one leg. And single leg reach also, they can just reach out in front as far as they can feel comfortable. They can try to touch the wall, take the support also initially. But children love it without support also. They just enjoy it. Unstable surface, single leg stand. So they can just stand on a pillow or some unstable surface with one leg up. So they can also challenge themselves by playing catch with a ball. Just play with the ball and do it. Balancing on a ball. So try moving the ball side to side, try moving the ball in circles, and try to balance on the ball with one. So there can be 3 levels. In the first level, we can ask them to stand with one foot on the ground and one foot on an elevated plane surface. It can be a stool or a bench. In level 2, they can stand with one foot on the ground and one foot on a ball. And in level 3, they can balance on one foot with one foot in the air and the other foot in the ground. So we can start with these levels. Initially, we cannot start with just balancing on one foot or balancing on the ball. First, we have to start with balancing on an elevated surface, and then we can move. So just they can do hand crawls to help improve finger muscles also. They can do hand crawls on the table. Crunch, we all know crunching paper balls or crushing the balls is very good exercise. Spinning in circles is also very nice exercise for the mind and brain. And this, we all have done double doodle. They can write, they can trace it in the air. First of all, we can draw the things in the, like on the blackboard, if we can draw these zigzags, we can ask them to use your fingers and trace them in the air first. And then they can do this double doodle. So with different colored markers they can do. So it helps in crossing the midline, such as writing. So this is a crossing the midline activity. So it helps establish directionality and orientation in space in reference to your body's midline. So it is very good in developing eye-hand coordination that writing requires. So when to do double doodle with the children, when they are ready, getting ready to do an activity like that requires crossing the midline, any activity that requires some mental work, we can ask them to do this. When they are doing creative writing like poems or stories, it will stimulate both their brain side. If they have to write a book report before they start to practice in writing, when you are looking for a fun creative art project. And this, the lazy 8, they can also draw it with their fingers. We've also done this thinking cap to just stimulate with our ears. We can just rub our earlobes. Calf pumps, it improves concentration, attention. You can just ask them to relax and take some deep breaths. So the brain gym activities are now here. They're summed up. The elephant, they can move like an elephant. Think of an X, making X in the air. Neck rolls, the double doodle, alphabet 8, belly breathing, the cross crawl, energizer, the rocker. We can see the pictures, the lazy edge they can draw in the air. With the lazy edge, we have done the breathing also in our previous sessions. The breathing, like 5, we are inhaling, we are just forming 8, complete 8 in the air. And then while exhaling, we'll form the 8 again. So this is a lazy 8 activity. So for planning, organizing, or lining things up, we can ask the children to do these activities. Sipping water, the energy yawn. They can just try and pretend and yawn as big as possible to just release their energies. So the thinking cap, the balance buttons, the brain buttons, the earth buttons. So the balance button is the belly one and the ear one. The brain button is the chest one and the belly one. The earth button is below the lips and the belly one. And the space button is above the lips and at the back, lower back. So how to play, work, or cooperate, some positive points we have done, just rolling on top of our eyes. These are some of the hookups with our legs and hands. So to hold a focus, comprehend, or participate. These are some of the movements. The owl one, just put your right hand on the left shoulder and just look on the left side and do it vice versa. Some arm activation activities, some foot flexes, calf pumps. So some crossing the midline activities, so which helps in stimulating both the sides of the brain. What can be those activities? Like playing with the rhythm scarf. With the scarf, they can just put it on the right side and on the left side. Playing with blocks, stacking them, dancing to the music, using a washcloth to bath, dusting or sweeping the house, playing patty cake. They can be a game, playing with cars on a large path, playing flashlight tag, washing the car, painting with a large paint roll, completing cross crawls, touching hand to opposite foot or knee, wiping off the table with a towel, throwing a water balloon at a target, drawing a large horizontal figure 8 on a chalkboard, squirt water gun, target practice. So when they are practicing like hitting on a target, watering flowers with a garden hose using both the hands, ball pass relay races, playing beanbag toss while in a cross leg position, playing tennis, playing a game of Simon Says. So this windmill can be done as a crossing a midline activity. Scarf or ribbon activities. Use one hand to just wave the scarf from side to side, and the other hand. Then use the right hand, wave the scarf in a full arc with the right foot up. And then you can use the left hand. Just wave it till your foot. Then you can just move it diagonally. So cross-legged activities also. Cross-leg position, put your left hand on the floor and lift in an arc straight over your head and reach over as far as possible to the right. Now put your right hand on the floor and lift it in an arc. So you have to put one hand on the floor, the other hand up in the air. So this will be this windmill activity, crossing the midline. So race track breath. So we are going to do an activity called race track breath. So this is a fun exercise where we can calm our brain. So imagine that you've just won the big race and you feel so full of energy and excitement, but now you have to do a victory lap. So how can you do it? So we are going to use a finger or a toy car and place it in the middle of the track. Then we'll choose a side to begin and start our engine. So on the count of three, we'll slowly trace our finger around the track and breathe in. As we begin to trace the other side of the track, we'll breathe out. So we can just use our fingers, breathe in and move forward, breathe out and move backward. So we can ask them how they felt while doing this activity. So now we can just sum up in these ways. Water, we can have a sip of water, brain buttons we have done, unlocking the ears, cross crawls, hookups, some more hookups, figure eight, symmetrical air drawing. So now when to use these activities? We can use them in the beginning of the day, transition times, especially between active and inactive lessons, before lunch, before the rest time, or at the end of the day. And we all, I already just discussed that brain gym activities are like related to self-awareness, self-concept, computers, reading, reading comprehension, different, they just cover up different areas. And today we've just done exercises, a small area of the whole big venue of brain gym exercises. So we end here and thank you so much. And now you can ask any questions or queries if you have. Please type in the chat box.
Ma'am, there's one question that can you please share the slide with different exercises such as animal acting?
Okay, so you want me to share that slide again, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, sure, I can do that. Animal exercises. Rules. Which one are the animal exercises, especially? Okay, it is these ones. Any other question? Is this the same slide that you wanted me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
One more question. Is there any effect on the brain in developing positive mindset by doing brain gym?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Because it will help in stimulating both the sides of the brain, and one side is like affective. One side is cognitive side, and the other side is affective. Affective means it deals with our aesthetics and emotions. And when we are doing this, we are balancing our emotions also, because we are balancing our body, and it is not just external. We can balance our body only when our mind is balanced. So the children will be able to balance or maintain their balance only if the mind is calm and balanced. So it will definitely help in balancing the mind and emotions also. First, firstly, the impact will come internally. Then only we can see it externally. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Two forms have been provided in the chat box. I request everyone to fill up those forms.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Preeti ma'am, for participating with us, and thank you, participants, for joining Preeti ma'am's session. Please
Thank,
register for more other sessions on our website, that is teacherclass.org. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening ahead.